Major League Baseball welcomes you to the following presentation of the St. Louis Cardinals.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Cardinals TV is powered by MLB. It's a beautiful Sunday in St. Louis as the Cardinals and Mariners, a slugfest yesterday. The Redbirds try to restore a little order and salvage Game 3 of this three-game series. Hi again, friends. Chip and Brad, great to be with you. Jim Hayes coming along in a moment. Game 2 of this series was a wild one, Brad. Kind of a good news, bad news kind of day. Let's start with the good news. The offense was awesome.
Look, crazy entertaining ball game. The Cardinals gave up 2 early, and they responded with a Weatherhold homer to lead it off. Herrera went back-to-back right after that. 14 hits, 9 runs. Everything seemed to be hit hard with the Cardinals offense. They had a phenomenal approach. They stuck to it and got to one of the better starters in the league.
Even Chris Conroy got into the swing of things in the Cardinals dugout, so we'd love to see some more offense in Game 3 for St. Louis, but we'd also like to see Michael McGreevy take care of this Cardinals bullpen. They had to be used an awful lot after Matthew Liberatore lasted less than 4 innings.
Yeah, look, when you have to take your starter out in the 4th, it is going to end up hurting you. So you got a couple of guys in this bullpen that have been used a lot, are probably down today. So to your point, Michael McGreevy is going to have to step up in this one big time. And when you look at the arsenal of McGreevy, he's got the stuff to do it. You look at what he's done so far this season, a whip below a 1, an opposing batting average under 200. This guy can get you off the barrel, Chip, and can get outs quickly.
Well, 2 great entertaining games, bad results for the Cardinals, but they'll try to turn that around in Game 3. They powered up yesterday, and one big question, how healthy is Pedro Pages? Indeed, we will catch up on the catching as the Cardinals try to mute the Mariners in Game 3. St. Louis Cardinals baseball is presented by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By Central Bank, the hometown bank of the St. Louis Cardinals. Visit cardinalschecking.com. And by your quality Ford dealers. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. A slugfest in Game 2. The Mariners beat the Cardinals by a total of 2 runs. And there were some banged-up Redbirds after the game as well.
Yeah, the home runs weren't the only punishment in this one. That was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball off the hand there of Jordan Walker. He was down for a couple of minutes, a scary moment, and then while stealing second, an awkward approach in there to the base, didn't slide, looked like he may have caught up the ankle, but fortunately in the lineup here today. And then Pedro Pages, Chip, had himself a great ball game offensively, 3 for 3, had the home run, drove in 2, but he too left the game.
Yeah, Ali Marmol was speaking with us before the game, and he told me that Pages could play if needed today. Just a little hamstring tightness. The imagery came back clean, so Pages could be ready to go as soon as tomorrow in Pittsburgh. And the Cardinals catchers, they are indeed catching on. That is your Hyundai in the driver's seat. They've done good work at the plate.
No, they really have. Each and every day, whoever it is behind the plate, OPS over 800. This catching crew is giving you what you need.
What's fun about this 26 Cardinals squad? Well, young players getting a chance to shine on the biggest and brightest baseball stage there is. Nathan Church did that with a monster game on Saturday in St. Louis. When we come back, Scott Warman and Al Roboski will talk more about Nathan Church's big day at Busch in Game 2.
Michael McGreevy getting the start in the 3rd and final game between the Cardinals and the Mariners as the Birds are trying to salvage one this weekend on just a glorious day for baseball here in the Gateway City. With the Cardinal Hall of Famer, the man Hungarian, Al Roboski, Scott Warman with you. Well, Hungo, bombs away yesterday, just absolutely nuts. 8 total home runs, 5 by the Cardinals, only done 1 other time in the month of April in the 20 years here at Busch 3. That was in 2016. 2 of those 5 home runs, Hungo, Nathan Church goes yard twice.
Yeah, he's got a 4-game hitting streak, batting 400 during that time. You can see where his numbers rank with the Cardinals. He was a surprise in spring training, and he is not disappointed. He's taken advantage of this opportunity, doing a great job. His first multi-home run game last night. He had 4 RBIs for the day. He also had a sac fly. But Nathan Church plays great defense, but the bat is starting to get some people's attention.
It certainly is. There, just a beautiful level swing right through the zone there. And not only that, but you mentioned the catch. We showed this yesterday, which was almost the same catch that he made on the home opener on opening day here at Boone.
Yeah, just times his jump perfectly, pulls back a home run. So he was really involved with the home runs. That would have been 9. That would have tired the record if he wouldn't have made that catch. But, you know, he was always a contact hitter through the minor leagues, and he's starting to show that discipline here.
Yeah, it's one of those things where through the ranks, no more for his defense than offense, but kind of like Mason Wynn, as he started to grow older in the minor league system, he started to find a little bit more offense, trying to find himself last year when he got a little bit of cup of coffee last year, but it looks like there's more maturation. He's more comfortable, I guess.
You know, he's just calmed down, and he's slowed the game down to the point where now he is a major leaguer.
And he is in the lineup as the Birds are everywhere today at Busch. Stay with us. Chip Carey, Brad Thompson bring you the first pitch when we come back on Cardinals TV.
It's another glorious afternoon in St. Louis. Thank you for joining us on Cardinals TV for the series wrap-up. The Mariners and the Cardinals. More Chamber of Commerce weather in downtown St. Louis. A beautiful, breezy day at the ballpark, and a great day, Brad, for the Cardinals to have another entertaining game, but come out on top after 2 close ones and a heartbreaker yesterday.
Yeah, look, the series, the last 2 games for a baseball fan, fantastic. I mean, there was a lot of back and forth. For a Cardinal fan, you found yourself on the short end of the stick. The last couple, Cardinals have lost 3 straight, dropped 4 out of 5. Time for Ollie's club to get back into their winning ways.
We are in the stretch of 17 games in a row for St. Louis. This is game 3. Meanwhile, for the mighty Mariners, they are 2 games under 500 now. Their offense has come to life, and that'll be the challenge for Michael McGreevy today. This Seattle club, they are going to ride the wave of Raleigh Rodriguez and Josh Naylor. Naylor not in the lineup today, but still, this is a pretty good offensive ball club that's begun to wake up in April.
No, you're right. Look, that was one of the biggest surprises for the Mariners, that offense had struggled the way that it did, but you knew with the same cast of characters, they would be okay. So now it's Michael McGreevy. It's his task to be able to slow down this hot offense. Michael's making his 6th start of the season. He's put together a really quality year so far. Last time out against the Marlins, ended up giving up 4 in 5 2/3. Look at the pitch arsenal. 7 different pitches. That's a lot for the opposition to contest with. His 4-seam and changeup combo been very, very effective, but he'll mix in a little bit of anything in any count.
Here's a look at the Cardinals defensive lineup. Nathan Church had another great game and circus catch last night. He'll be in left. Victor Scott in center. Jordan Walker in right. With McGreevy and his ground ball rate, you got Wynn and Urias on the left side, Weatherholt and Burleson on the right, and Ivan Herrera will be the Cardinals catcher. You mentioned in our opening the need for Michael McGreevy to take this game deep today. The Cardinals bullpen was used a lot yesterday, and there is no relief as far as days off go for the next 2 weeks.
No, there's not. And look, you're playing one game at a time, and you're managing one day at a time as well. But for McGreevy, he knows what the bullpen looks like right now. He knows how many guys are fresh, so he's going to have to really navigate a tough lineup here for the Mariners and do so as expeditiously as he can.
I don't know what expeditiously means, but we'll take a fast look at the Mariners lineup with Josh Naylor getting the day off. That's good news. He's been red hot. Seattle, we got to give their skipper a lot of credit. 3 pinch hitters came off the pine and provided run-scoring hits in game 2. We'll see if the Cardinals can slow that down here in the series wrap-up. J.P. Crawford leading off again. He's the shortstop at 197. And McGreevy's first is in for a called strike. John Bacon has the plate. Hunter Wendelstedt, Edwin Moscosa, Vic Carapazza are on the base paths. This crew's had an excellent series to this point. And just like that, it's 0-2 for Crawford. Crawford led off in the opener. He batted 6th here yesterday. And in their 2-run 9th inning rally, got things started with a bunt. In Seattle, last 12 games, 6 of those 12 they've had double-digit hit performances as a club, hitting .278 in that stretch. So the Mariners are rapidly rising in the AL West. They're a game and a half behind the Athletics and Rangers, who are tied for first. Squib toward third. Arias will scoop that up, and there's your first ground ball from McGreevy, 1 away. Cal Raleigh is next. Raleigh, the switch hitting Seattle catcher, has his average over the Mendoza line. He's at .202.
You knew it was a matter of time before he would heat up as well. Start to see that offense against the A's for the Mariners get better and better. 2 hits in the ball game yesterday. Also drew a walk, so he swings through that cutter. He's got a 10-game on base streak right now, Chip. 3 home runs. You knew it was coming for the guy that hit 60 a year ago.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Chip, I like that combo right there too. Cutter that's running up and in, then the sinker away. We'll see if he decides to try to go up and in again with the cutter, or maybe the changeup fading off of that sinker. That changeup's been very effective for McGreevy.
No balls, 2 strikes. And fouled away. One thing you know, when McGreevy's on, he gets a lot of soft contact. Ball's in play against him a lot.
Yeah.
That was not the story for the pitching staffs in the game yesterday. There were rockets hit everywhere at Busch Stadium.
It was crazy. It was an unheard of day, especially early. This Busch Stadium had not seen that many home runs early in a ball game ever in 20 years. Evens up the count, rides that up there. Wonder if that changeup down the way will be good. I know Ollie was very excited about his offense yesterday. Certainly disappointed of how it landed. They took their shots, man. Went to their go-to guys. The Mariners were able to get to 2 of the best arms in the Cardinals bullpen.
And that young man certainly made an impression on a sunny Saturday.
Man, it was awesome to see what he did. A couple of home runs, had a sac fly, drove in 4. Herrera hit himself a home run in the ball game as well. Church robbed a home run. The timing and the precision to make a play like that. And how about that? The cutter up and in for McGreevy to get his first strikeout of the day. A little in, little out, pushing and pulling for McGreevy early.
So 2 quick outs. Speaking of efficiency, Crawford and Raleigh are outs 1 and 2. Julio Rodriguez is next. He hit a tape measure home run into Big Mac land, only his 2nd of the season, but it was deep, it was loud.
Well, it was almost as if he were sitting on that pitch. He got a slider from Matthew Liberatore that was down and in, but it was on the plate, and he unleashed on it.
No balls at a strike. And that one catches a corner. So Michael a pitch away from what's been a rarity for the Cardinals staff. In the first inning, they've had a clean 1-2-3 opening inning 7 times.
7, you say?
7.
Out of 27 games?
Pretty good pitch, but taken high.
Woof. That's hard. That's a lot of traffic early. So I like that fastball right there too, that 4-seam above. You see him throw that sweeper now off of it, get him to swing and miss.
Popped up right side. Burley gives chase. That one is in the middle of the warning track, and he does have a clean 1-2-3. 14 pitches for McGreevy. The Cardinals go to work in the first. Weatherholt, Herrera, and Burleson to face Emerson Hancock of the Mariners here in St. Louis. The Cardinals offense yesterday, 9 runs, 14 hits. J.J. Weatherholt had a 3-hit day, including his first leadoff home run. The offense wasn't an issue for St. Louis. We'll see if they can tame Emerson Hancock, former #1 pick for Seattle, who pitches in Game 3.
Emerson Hancock putting together a really good season thus far.
First pitch swing, sky to center. And Rodriguez will camp out. 1 pitch and 1 out. Ivan Herrera is next. He's been a moving target, Jim Hayes, of late.
Yeah, he has 4 homers in his last 10 games. He's been hit by a pitch in 6 of his last 8. Ivan told me, I don't know, maybe I just look too mean at the plate. But he says he understands it. He says it's part of the game. He told me they don't want me leaning over the plate, but I'm not giving in. I'll keep doing it. Chip, he said he's been hit with a couple of fastballs, but no big deal. He's a tough guy.
Yeah, the ball's flat when it hits Ivan Herrera. He's a big, strong kid.
And I don't feel like he hangs over the plate much. A lot of these has just been huge breaking balls that have backed up and caught him. I don't think that he's Contreras-esque where he's just begging to get hit on the side of the plate. Either way, he's been getting it done. Chip, 8-game hitting streak so far for him. 323 the average during that. Starting to see that power again. Loved that big home run yesterday.
And with Emerson Hancock and his velo, the Cardinals will get as deep in the batter's box as they can. Hancock, starting pitcher by trade, pitched out of the bullpen late last year, Brad, and we're told he added a new weapon as a result.
Yeah, he did. It's that one right there. Well, that was the cutter. He's got a sweeper that he really learned out of the bullpen. Take a look at the pitch arsenal. That sweeper is where he's getting the most swing and miss. Fastball is in the mid-90s, and you can see with the arm angle, he's funky. He's going to be tough on righties, but he has certainly handled lefties as well as this 3-0 sinker catches the corner. But yeah, he's kind of been that swing guy, a little back and forth, but the command has been a whole lot better early this year. There's only one pitcher in baseball that's got a better strikeout to walk ratio, and that's Cam Schlittler.
That's lined into the left field corner. Herrera's got an extra base hit. So he gallops into second, his 5th double, and the Cardinals have the first scoring chance of the game.
Chip, we talked about yesterday all of the loud noises from the offense. There's a loud one, belt high sinker, and Herrera is ready for it. You see the timing. He talked about his swing and just wanted to get in that position where he was attacking the baseball. That was a great look at it there.
So Burleson will be your key man in the inning. Got to get Alec going. It's been a quiet last 21 trips to the plate for him. He's picked up 2 hits in that stretch. I want to congratulate you on pronouncing Cam's last name correctly. That was.
Did you hear how much stank I put on every one of those letters? Schlittler.
Consonants are important. We've learned no balls at a strike.
Hope we miss him in New York. Be a lot of Cam talk. I'll tell you that.
A lot of room for Burley on the left side. They give him plenty of space between short and third. Leo Rivas mans the hot corner. This one driven in the air to right. And Luke Raley's looking up in the sky. Lost it for a moment, but recovers. And no chance for Herrera to tag. Oh, what a lonely feeling that was for Raley. For a moment, he lost it. And Rodriguez came over to help out, but with the glasses on, he was able to make the play. Seattle's defense, Arozarena, Rodriguez, and Raley. In the outfield, Rivas, Crawford, Cole Young, Connor Joe. One of the villains yesterday. He's at first. And Cal Raleigh back behind the plate. Jordan Walker. Runner at second, 2 outs.
Chip, I was going to say, good to see this guy in the ball game. Huh? A bit of a scary one for him yesterday.
Yeah, got hit on the hand, and then, as you said, that awkward play at second, a half slide, half stand up, almost saw Walker tear up a knee or an ankle.
Yeah, scary for sure. So very happy to see him in the lineup today.
That's cued off the end of the bat toward us. No balls and a strike. Jordan's cooled off. He's not recorded a homer or an RBI since April 13th against the Guardians. And there's been some swing and miss in recent days. Let's see if he can change that on a breezy day. Wind blowing toward the left field corner. There's the sweeper, taken low to even up the count. Hancock, the 6th overall pick in the draft in 2020. Played his college ball at the Harvard of the South, the University of Georgia. And he's from Cairo High School in Georgia.
Some pretty good players come out of Cairo.
A couple of good ones. Jackie Robinson, Willie Harris to name 2. And did Walker hold? He did. 3 balls and a strike. If I remember correctly, the high school down there is called the Cairo Syrup Makers.
Is it really?
That's their high school nickname. Spelled like the city in Egypt, but pronounced Cairo. 3 balls and a strike. Let's see if Jordan can look away here. And he did. He takes ball 4. That was a nice trip to the plate. So now Hancock has to deal with Nolan Gorman. They've locked horns before. Gorman's only seen him once. He's 0 for 1. And a rare walk for Hancock, just the 5th this season in over 29 innings of work. That's the story for the Seattle staff. They usually don't hurt themselves with the base on balls.
No, I mean, we talked about the offense heating up. That's really where they shine, is their pitching staff coming into action today. Their team ERA 2nd in the AL, 5th in all of baseball. Bullpen 2nd in the AL as well. So Dan Wilson, he feels pretty confident each and every day running his starter out there, and the pen that he has following it.
Snap throw back to 2nd, and back safely is Herrera. You know, it just came to me watching Emerson pitch. Another right-hander, to me, looks kind of the same. Charlie Morton.
I could definitely see that. That's a really good call. Yes. And like early in the career, you know, they're of Morton, more sinkers than anything else.
Just that low arm slot is so problematic for hitters these days. We had good luck against Brian Wu yesterday, but the ball doesn't drop as much at the plate when Wu and Hancock are right.
Yeah, it doesn't have that same depth. Now, it can have a lot of that arm side run. That's exactly what Hancock likes, and that's why a sweeper was such a good addition for him and why it's been so successful, because he's got the sinker that's running arm side. As you take a look at yesterday's starter, Brian Wu, who, man, the Cardinals able to jump all over him, one of the best arms in baseball, but he ended up giving up 7 runs, including 4 home runs in that ball game.
And hadn't given up a home run all year before yesterday. So Wu, I'm sure, can't wait for his next start for Seattle. And Gorman with a full count. Advantage for Herrera and Walker. They'll take off with the pitch. Mason Wynn, the next Cardinals batter. 20 pitches in the inning so far. 20 coming up, I should say, for the Seattle starter. There go the runners, and it's cut on a missed, and that will retire the side. Cardinals strand 2 and a scoreless first. We go to the 2nd at Busch.
Human sense.
MLB Plus is new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 in the U.S. and select out-of-market games every week. Plus live radio broadcasts of every game. Game Day 3D, big inning, and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus and subscribe today. If you're at Busch Stadium and you are seated on the third base side of the ballpark, you might see wire cam soaring high above your head. Look at those great panoramic shots we get. All at the fingertips of our great director Tom Mee and our technician Eddie here at Busch.
When are they going to let me drive it? Is that soon, or do I have to have like a license, you think? It's probably not a cheap piece of machinery.
Let me ask you the question that everybody's asking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you trust you to drive wire cam?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Look, there are thousands of people under wire cam, so I'm not going to do anything so reckless as to drop it on a child at Kids Day, you know? And if, in fact, I even did, somebody probably put that thing up really well. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
So what are the chances? What could I do wrong? Now, could I miss a key moment of the game? That is a beautiful shot. Sure. Like while something's happening on the field, I could be pointed the other direction. Happens
Happens many times during
rookie mistake.
Popped up right side. Another chance for Burleson. He's rolling toward the tarp. That's going to back up, and he can't make the play. And a swing on the house for Arozarena. Yeah, I love the technological advances for us with Cardinals TV and our partnership with MLB. We've got the wire cam. We've got the dirt cams at second base and in front of home plate. We saw last night, or yesterday I should say, the angle on Jordan Walker's unfortunate hit by pitch. And that's what dirt cam looks like. Chopper foul. What we need from dirt cam is we need to have somebody hit a ground ball and
right into it.
Yeah.
You want to pay for these? Apparently, though, you can step right on that, so that it looks like, hey, that thing's like in the way. Apparently, it's squishy, and you can step right on it, and nothing happens. Yeah, I'm gonna go try it in between innings.
That was a technical term, squishy, right?
Yeah. Super squishy. That's how they sell them. Got to look for the super squishy dirt cams. Maybe available next day on Amazon. Not sure.
Base is empty for Randy Arozarena. That's fun to say. The 2-2. Almost got it. Full count. That was part of the problem for the Cardinals yesterday. How and why they ran out of pitching, Brad. There were a ton of deep counts for the entire staff.
Yeah, there were. And unfortunately for Matthew Liberatore, just a day where he didn't have specifically his breaking stuff early ended up hurting him.
No swing. And the Cardinals are going to appeal. Herrera is going to challenge the ball four call.
Catcher's challenging the ball.
He's been good behind the plate in appealing. Let's see if he's right. And he is. Top of the zone. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Look at Arozarena.
Well, a lot of things going on here. First of all, it looks like he ended up swinging on this one. Sinker at the top of the zone. If he hits it, it's a double in the gap.
Yeah, that should be strike 3 and 4.
All right, I want one carryover for next at bat.
That would work. Luke Raley's next. And he takes a strike. Raley 5 homers, 13 driven in. Mariners have an excellent hitting staff like the Cardinals. Kevin Seitzer is their hitting coach. Bobby Magallanes is his assistant. They came over from Atlanta. They also have a wonderful ace in the hole in doubles machine and Hall of Famer Edgar Martinez as a hitting consultant.
Kind of feel like that's a guy when he speaks you might want to listen.
0-2. So yesterday in the game, the Cardinals pitching staff had 19 3-ball counts and 17 full counts. And quickly 0-2 here for Raley. And that leads us to Brad, our Toyota key to the game.
Yeah, same thing we were talking about in the first inning for McGreevy. It's go long. We had a lot of different iterations of what we wanted to call this, but this is what we landed on. Seemed the safest. For McGreevy, the key is, hey, you got to be in there. You got to be efficient. You got to pound the strike zone. And he's going to be using every single bit of his allotted pitch count chip.
Thank goodness. It's rolled foul. We'll try again.
That was something that this Mariners team did too, especially late in the ball game. Gosh, they fouled off some tough pitches, especially against Riley O'Brien. They really made him work. Dan Wilson's club able to get his pitch count up. I mean, he's not going to be available in this ball game.
Well, that's the name of the game. make him work. And another foul ball. That's where that proverbial swing and miss stuff comes in handy. McGreevy's got 2 strikeouts in the game. What can he conjure up here to end this long sequence with Raley that will take at least 8 pitches?
Well, he's shown him a couple of fastballs at the top of the zone. We'll see what he's got a feel for, but that changeup has been good for him. You got to make sure it's at the bottom, though. Want to make sure you don't leave that up in the zone if he does tend to go that direction.
'30th pitch. And a line drive to right. Walker froze for a moment, but recovers. Raley hits it on the button, but he's retired, and McGreevy set down his first 5 in order. Okay, did you write this kid's name down correctly today?
Nope, I got it. Canzone today. Canzone. Game 1 of the series, for those who weren't watching, I legit wrote down calzone. I was hungry. Then we got on to a calzone Stromboli conversation, which both are delicious. Apparently Stromboli is more mozzarella based, calzone more ricotta.
Is
that correct?
Yep.
Probably a combination of both, though.
Either
if
would
I'm
be
making
great.
it. I'm more mozzarella than ricotta cheese personally.
Okay, fair enough. No balls and a strike for Dominic Canzone. I almost said calzone. I'm not kidding. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 homers, 12 RBIs for Dominic.
It's funny how our mind works, right? You plant the seed of something. I'll mess up somebody's name today, I guarantee it.
Shot towards second, and JJ to his left. He's been slick at second. 6 up, 6 down for McGreevy. He's efficient. No score. Mason Wynn leads it off. You've seen the patch on every Cardinals jersey. That's Stifel, one of America's fastest growing wealth management and investment banking firms, proudly rooted in St. Louis. It's a partnership built on excellence. You know, Ron Krzyzewski's watching the game today as Mason Wynn taps to short from one shortstop to another. That's how the second inning for the Cardinals starts. So Hancock has his first ground ball out. It's about 42-43% on the grass. He has the advantage of pitching in Seattle T-Mobile Park, one of the bigger ballparks in the big leagues. And here's one of yesterday's hitting heroes, Nathan Church. What a day for him. Hits in 7 of 8.
Well, you remember when he first got called up, you and I were sitting here in the booth. We're talking about him. We got a text from Ryan Ludwig, who works with all these young Cardinal hitters throughout the organization. He said, man, you are going to love this kid. You're going to love the way that he goes about it. And he was very adamant that he was going to hit at this level. And we're starting to see more and more glimpses of it. You knew that he was a great outfielder, rated the best defensive outfielder in the organization the last couple of years. But hopefully starting to put it all together here.
1 ball, 1 strike. What I noticed about him is he does not have a big giant uppercut swing. He hits, it seems to me, like the old school players did. Hit line drives, and if you're strong enough with enough backspin, the ball's going to go, and it did.
That's a good call. One of the things you'll watch in his swing, especially if we break down a side swing at some point, is how fast his hands get to the baseball.
This one served to the left side. Tricky spin, quick release, and not in time. Church puts it in play. The spinner turns into an infield hit. And his good work continues at the plate. 1 on, 1 out.
Little power and speed, right? Let's take a look at that side swing of Church. Watch the hands, how quickly they get to it. This is a changeup way off the plate away. Just put it in play, made something happen with the legs.
Ramon Urias is next, batting 170. Church has a good lead, not going, and ball 1 inside. Hope you enjoyed our conversation about our ability to sit in on the Cardinals hitters meeting yesterday and all that goes into a game plan for an opposing starter. That one dumped into shallow right. That might drop. It's going to. Church never stopped running, but slams on the brakes, heads back, and a high throw allows him to reach. So 2 aboard, 1 out. Urias has a single, and the Cardinals in business with 2 more aboard, this time in the second.
So it's one of these Hancock sinkers in on the hands here of Urias, able to muscle this out into right field. Church wasn't exactly sure where he was in right field, but made a good decision there. Knew he was back deep enough.
And that brings up Victor Scott II. See if he can ping one to left. That's part of the game plan for Victor offensively. You know, Brant Brown and he have been working on a lot. They talked about that in the meeting, as well as pitchers tells, where the go zones are for an opposing pitcher while you're at the plate. It was a fascinating insight.
It was just great to see what the approach was on a day, and then watch it come to fruition. And as Brownie called it, it was National Fastball Hitting Day yesterday, and boy did they do that against Brian Wu. Again, 7 runs, 4 home runs that they gave up, and they were just jumping his heater. But it wasn't that they were swinging at every fastball. They had zones, they had areas, and each individual had an approach. To me, that's what stood out the most, Chip, about that, was that every individual had a voice in these meetings. And Brownie and the staff would ask them questions. Hey, what are you thinking with this guy? What do you want to do? What do you want to do first at bat, second at bat? Just a lot that goes into every single day.
And it paid off. One of the keys was Pedro Pajes and how he wanted to approach Wu. He made an adjustment, watching and observing the game, and stepped up and whacked a 2-run homer on the first pitch he saw.
Yeah, it is much more than see ball, hit ball, right? Yeah. Sometimes at the plate you do want to simplify it, but there's a whole lot of work that goes in beforehand.
First and second, 1 out. Right back where it came from, but it's going to be a double play. Scott hits a missile, but J.P. Crawford was positioned perfectly, and the Cardinals out of luck, and we're still scoreless. Well, the bottom of the batting orders have feasted in this series. That's what the 7, 8, 9 men have done for Dan Wilson and Oliver Marmol. Connor Joe had a big 2-run hit off Riley O'Brien yesterday. Didn't waste any time, swung at the first pitch. So beware the 33-year-old well-traveled big leaguer from San Diego, California.
And Chip, we always talk about the bottom of the lineup feeding the top. That's exactly what Dan Wilson's group has done in this series.
Joe has played with the Giants, Rockies, Pirates, Padres, Reds, and now Seattle. No balls, 2 strikes. You know, we all are guilty of looking at a player and evaluating them by what they make or what they do on the field. You look at guys like Connor Joe, and you can't help but root for him when you know the backstory and what he's been able to overcome. Connor Joe is a testicular cancer survivor. Cancer actually had spread to his lungs, and 6 years ago in July he was shown to be cancer free.
Yeah, he went in for like a normal physical, right? Spring training physical, and they found an abnormality, and that's what it turned out to be. What a road it's been, obviously, for Connor Joe, an inspirational one.
So he and McGreevy locking horns, 2 Southern Californians dueling in the 3rd inning. The pitch is right there, a strike. That's 3 punch-outs for McGreevy in as many innings.
Michael McGreevy spotting up right here. This one, nice little cutter on the outer corner.
On a team with some really impressive players, this guy's opened my eyes, Brad. I had known very little of Cole Young, but he's had a big offensive series, and his defensive pedigree is something the Mariners are awfully proud of. He showed a really slick game on both sides of the baseball here.
Really did. Came into yesterday's game with 8 defensive runs saved over at second base. I believe that paced all second basemen.
And he
he's up to his tricks again. He's got a base hit, the first for Seattle. And he's going to turn and burn. He's going to head for 2. Here's the throw, and we got it. Perfect throw. Young got a little greedy. The Mariners are going to take a look, but the throw beat him by a bunch, and that could and should be the second out. It is.
Well, let's see this first little inside out swing right here. Vic able to get to the ball, turns and makes a strong throw as soon as he sees him going. That second tag may have been the one that ended up getting him
right there.
Great job by Vic. Great job by this Cardinals outfield overall. That's now 9 outfield assists for them. That tops all of baseball.
So the base is clear for McGreevy. Leo Rivas, the third baseman, playing in place of Brendan Donovan, who's injured and couldn't make the trip to St. Louis. I know Donnie's watching the game. We wish you all the best in a speedy recovery and a great season with the Mariners. You are missed by many here in St. Louis.
Yeah, it would have been quite the ovation. Certainly will be whenever Donnie comes back. And I know you're right. I know he's watching the game. He's watching us, right?
I would think so.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, some things, habits die hard.
We have better hair, and I know he's got great hair too. That's probably the...
Oh, Aaron's got pretty good hair next door.
Yeah, but it's not
like yours.
As good as ours. That's outside. 2 balls and a strike. No, but Donovan's going to be a part of a really good Seattle team. And as you know, if you pitch, you have a chance. And this team has really good pitching. And their offense should be flying high at some point as this one skied towards center. The big park will hold that. Leo Rivas is out, and so is Seattle. Michaels faced the minimum through 3. Top of the Cardinals order is coming up scoreless. St. Louis Cardinals baseball is presented by your Mid-America Chevy dealers and by BJC Healthcare. You deserve extraordinary care. How about a win with sprinkles on top for the Cardinals in Game 3? The pitchings look good so far today. For more on that, let's join Jim Hayes and our Wells Fargo Active Mike.
Yeah, I'm with Dusty Blake, the birthday boy. First, happy birthday. I know that you guys want some innings out of McGreevy. He's pitched well so far. What do you see?
Yeah, he's doing a heck of a job mixing his hand early and landing a lot of his arsenal in the zone, helping us get ahead and getting him some really good counts.
What are the challenges of getting through a 17-game stretch where you're playing 17 in a row? Use a lot of the bullpen yesterday. How big a challenge is that?
Yeah, you have to have a short-term and long-term process there. One, obviously, you want to win every game you have a chance to win. The second is to make sure if you put yourself in a good chance to win the days to follow, that you've got enough coverage there to help your starter, help your relievers, make sure we can connect and match up the way we need to. So it's balancing who we're putting in, when, and then making sure we're putting ourselves in a good spot to win.
How do you balance that when you want innings out of a guy, but you also understand you'd like to keep him fresh for an entire season, the now for the later, I guess? How do you balance that?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do. You balance it. You see how he's bouncing back start to start or outing to outing if it's a guy out of our bullpen. And if they're recovering well, then obviously you can take advantage of that. If it feels like the workload's gotten a little higher if something comes off a little weird, we've had some weird sinus infection type stuff, then it's like we can put ourselves in.
That one could go. That one could go. It's gone. It's gone. You like that?
I'm a big fan of that. Absolutely. But yeah, you just got to manage those things.
That's good. That's good for your pitcher. All right, Chip, we're going to send it back to you. Happy birthday.
Hey, appreciate it.
Happy birthday, Dusty. What a series for J.J. Weatherholt. A leadoff homer yesterday. A third inning leadoff homer today, and the Cardinals strike first.
That's 5 on the season now for J.J. Weatherholt. He had been getting on base at a high clip, and you knew the hits were going to start coming for him, and here they come, and they have been loud for J.J.
6th homer for Emerson Hancock.
That one there was a big one, though.
So Herrera after a double, and that one just a little outside. Move on with a 9-game hitting streak.
I was told he might do that about once a game, throw one of those sweepers to the backstop. That will happen.
Missed inside. 2 balls and a strike. Heck of a job by Raley and Wright to try to bring that homer back. He went fearlessly into the fence, slammed into the wall above the Budweiser sign. That's going to leave a mark. And a little chopper that's going to stay foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That kid's got quick hands, and right now, Brad, he's showing the all fields offensive prowess we saw quite a bit of in the spring.
Yeah, look, there's a reason they plugged him in. There's a reason Brant Brown Ollie saw a fit there for him at the top of the order. And look, it's going to be continually a progression, right? How do people attack him? How does he adjust? Well, he's adjusted well. One thing that they were attacking with early was fastballs up in the zone, and he wasn't able to get to it. He was fouling them back. That was a heater up in the zone that he got to quickly, stayed on top of.
Strike 3 freezes Herrera, and that's strikeout number 2. And here are the replays on the Weatherholtz home run. This was a bullet.
Yeah, let's see it. Top of the zone right here at 95 miles an hour, and the hands never dip under it. You see that good, just line drive approach. Gets this thing up into the air, and you're right, Raley slamming into the wall, but to no avail. Home run number 5 for Weatherholt.
Burleson bats, 1 in and 1 out. You saw JJ talking with Brandon Allen, one of the Cardinals' terrific hitting coaches. This is a special day for Brandon Allen. 14 years ago today, while playing for the Tampa Bay Rays, he picked up his first hit of the season. It was a game-winning walk-off home run. So, B.A., happy anniversary.
Do you think B.A. knows of the anniversary today?
I doubt it.
You have to tell him on the plane for sure. Celebrate that.
Tell you what, we'll toast him. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea. I think that we'd at least enjoy it. I think B.A. would as well.
He is really good at his job, and he is very silent and stoic.
Yeah, he is. He's a very good communicator too, and obviously he knows his hitters very well, knows mechanically, but knows how to speak to them in a way that makes sense. You got to be able to lay things out different ways for different players. That's one of the arts of being a coach. I don't care what your discipline is.
I think that's one big area where the sport has changed, and changed for the better. The multiple coaches for different responsibilities. Old days, you used to have one hitting coach, one pitching coach, and everybody would have to figure out the message from the same person. People think differently, they learn differently, and different voices can't do anything but help.
That is funny too, and like within a team structure, within a coaching staff, it's the same thing being taught, but it's relayed in different ways.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of hears things differently. Everybody needs different personalities maybe that can deliver those things.
Walker to third. Long throw. He's going to beat that out. Well, Walker's reached twice. A base on balls, and now an infield hit. The Cardinals have 2 of those. And the inning continues for Nolan Gorman. I think his speed surprises a lot of teams that don't see the Cardinals often. That was a tough play, but Jordan flying down the line beat that one relatively easily.
I think you just see how tall he is, and you're like, he's probably not going to move that well. Remember, he's told 20 bags a couple of years ago in the minor leagues. I mean, this guy has got speed, and that is actually something that might end up seeing get unleashed even more on the base paths at some point. We've seen him already this year. Jordan's stolen 4 bases, but definitely could be a bigger part of his game.
And slash the other way, a cue shot down the line. Walker's going to head to third as that bounces off the sidewall.
Chip, you brought this up yesterday with Gorman up, how on the left side there were some free hits sitting out there. Now this is a changeup. It's down, it's away, able to catch it right off the end of the bat, take that free hit to the left side with everybody shifted over. This is a pitch. I know he didn't square this up that way, but a couple of days ago he's pulling off that totally. That's a good adjustment for Gorman.
Third hit of the inning for the Cardinals. Mason Wynn bats. He bounced out to short and takes up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Mason's on a tear. He's got a 10-game hit streak, 5 multi-hit games in that stretch, and 11 ribbies in his last 6 played. Chance for another one here. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And very likely where Hancock's going to want to stay with him is away, whether it be the cutter, the sweeper, or the sinker. He's not going to want to give Wynn anything on the inner half to do some damage on here.
That is foul at first. There's your home run hitting man. J.J. Weatherholt blasted his 5th. That gives the Cardinals a 1-run lead. Redbirds have had multiple base runners in each of the first 3 innings against Emerson Hancock. Swing and a miss, and that will retire the side. J.J. Weatherholt gets the party started offensively for the Cardinals. The ball is flying at Busch Stadium. He makes it 1-0 St. Louis, top of the Seattle order coming up in the 4th. Cardinals strike first. We head to the 4th inning. Micah McGreevy has faced the minimum in 3 innings. And he starts with J.P. Crawford. Sunday's all about the kids here at Busch Stadium. And we've got a very special guest in the booth. The one, the only Fred Bird is here.
Fred Bird is here. He's not only here. You know that Fred Bird's a Hall of Famer now, right, Chip?
Yeah, I know that.
Look at this guy. Congratulations. He's got a ring here. Fred, what's the other ring that you're working with? What is that?
Call's overturned.
Are you serious with this? Fred Bird has got himself. This is a legit 20-pound ring for being in the Hall of Fame. Now, I didn't know, Fred, your head could get any bigger, but now you're a Hall of Famer. I'm proud of you, buddy. How does it feel? How does it feel to be a Hall of Famer? Good. Chip, he said it feels great.
Okay.
He's very proud. He wants to thank his mother and all of the support of the fans and especially the kids, certainly on Kids Day. Oh, he's doing great. Everything is fine. I've said this in the past, Chip. If you get an opportunity, don't work with animals, you know, because I want to.
Where did you get the ring, Fred Bird? That's what I want to know.
That ring.
Yeah,
so
that's
this
the one.
is Mascot Hall of Fame. This is real deal. If anybody, I mean, good luck getting a piece of one of those. Man. Because that is no. I'm just showing. I'm not taking it. I'm showing the people. See, yeah, you can. Now there were a couple of mascots that made it in this year, Chip.
Okay.
A Sharky from the Sharks. Obviously, you are the most important one, Fred Bird.
Yeah, I agree.
Sebastian from the University of Miami. Toro from the Texans, and Blitz, you know, from the Seahawks, made it in. But Fred Bird, I mean, he was already tough to work with when it comes to, you know, the overall aura and persona of Fred Bird. But now, forget about it, because he's a Hall of Famer now.
Those are real diamonds too, right?
Yeah, no, we're definitely going to pawn this when times get tough.
Real,
because that's worth something. Pretty penny.
So not only are we celebrating Fred Bird entering the Mascot Hall of Fame, all the kids at the ballpark today got coloring sheets.
So I did one too.
Yeah.
Hey, see that? Who did it better?
Fred Bird has mine. As that one too short, Mason Wynn fields and fires. Crawford's retired, 1 away.
No, other way, Fred. No, it's upside down.
Yeah,
just
there you
gotta,
go.
Yeah, you got to flip it over, and there it is. So hopefully everybody has enjoyed this. I had a feeling these are available. We'll find. No, other way. You got to flip it over. There it is. Yeah, nailed it. Now Fred Bird has a tough time coloring due to the fact that he only has 4 fingers.
Really?
Yeah. Now check them out. Look at these things. Look at these digits. Yep, 4 of them. Not a strong flyer either. But he is a Hall of Famer, Chip.
That's it.
And like you said, Sundays, the kids' days are a blast. There's ice cream out there. Yep. There's events going on left and right. There's Fred Bird, Team Fred Bird.
Right.
This is the place to be on a Sunday. I do suggest, though, not giving this ring to any children to hold, because you might crush them.
Yeah, that thing is more than a paperweight.
I'm not sure if there was an error in sizing.
I don't think that's
with that, but I mean, that is really something. I kind of want one of these, Chip.
Yeah. Maybe.
I feel like you're my partner with the Cardinals Kids Show.
Uh-oh, Cal Raleigh to right. Walker as far as he can go. That's gone. It's going to tie the game. So Cal Raleigh with a solo home run. That's his 6th. And Seattle has tied the game on a no-doubter to right.
All right, not ideal. Certainly. Now we're going to let Fredberg go because he's got other stuff to do. But Fredberg, your reaction to that home run. What is your reaction to that? That's it. That's it. And that's why he can come take our job. Fred, get out of here, you Hall of Famer. They tied it up. Take your big ring. Congratulations. Don't stomp on any kids. Man, a few words, Chip, but
the message is always conveyed. It's incredible. And thanks to Megan Eberhardt and Katie Brandenburg for bringing us the coloring book sheets. Another challenge here. Let's see if we get this one right. It was called a ball to Rodriguez. See what he just did? He just playfully slapped Herrera on the side of the helmet. So that wasn't a strike. What are you doing? That cost the Cardinals a challenge, I believe. 1 ball, no strikes, and another one from Mason. And Rodriguez is disposed of. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. And Arozarena next. He struck out looking his first time up. Well, the old saying, solo homers shouldn't beat you. That's what Hancock and McGreevy are saying. They're tied 1-1 here in game 3. Cardinals shade Arozarena around toward right. We mentioned yesterday, fans may be wondering where they can find the Cardinals Kids Show.
Yeah, Cardinals YouTube page is a great way to find it. You can also find it on the Cardinals website. But yeah, Fred and I have a blast doing that. The show's been going on over 20 years. I have not done all of them. Filling the shoes of Andy Bennis, who did the show for the longest time. But it has been a blast. Kids enjoy it. Look, adults enjoy it too. Be honest. You're sitting around, you're watching the show. I know it's on at the Carey household all the time.
Oh yeah, Tristan watches it religiously. He's almost as tall as Fredberg now. 2 balls and a strike. For Arozarena, the Seattle left fielder. Mariners have homered in 8 straight games, and Randy ponders a challenge, but waited too long. It's 2-2. Church Arias and Victor Scott coming up in the 4th inning. Another good game. Cardinals and Mariners going toe-to-toe for 3 straight days. Seattle's got the first 2 wins, but for St. Louis, a couple moral victories, but those sadly don't count. Let's see if we can take game 3 of the series.
No, what does count though is the offensive output that they were able to put together yesterday.
And McGreevy has another strikeout, 1 in each of his first 4 innings. Seattle ties the game. You're watching Cardinals TV, presented by Bet365. Glad you mentioned how great the Cardinals outfield defense has been. Nathan Church, another great catch to pull back a rookie home run. He's doing it all for St. Louis in the outfield. And for more on his exciting run, let's join Jim Hayes.
Yeah, we've seen Church go over the wall to rob a home run a couple of times this season. Did it in the 6th yesterday. He told me you get the feel for where the ball is headed off the bat. From there, rule of thumb is you get back to the wall as fast as you can just to see if there's a play to be made. That play in 2 homers got him his first curtain call. He said it was pretty cool, but we wanted to get a win, so on to tomorrow. He wanted to turn the page, Chip.
Well, he has turned it, and he's got an infield hit today, so his good work at the dish continues. 1-1 score. and didn't get that. A ball and 2 strikes.
Well, and obviously the right thing to say, right? You always want a team victory. It's okay to get your flowers on a day like that too, though. The couple of home runs, the robbed homer, what a momentous day for him, and just so impressive watching him go back to find the wall, to get there and be able to time that jump. We all know this. One of the biggest keys to robbing one of those is actually not getting too close to the wall. How many times have we seen a guy get up, try to jump, and then the wall stops him? He's got that spacing and that timing down.
So a nice run on both sides of the ball for Nathan Church, who's behind in the count here, leading off the Cardinals' 4th pair of solo homers. As accounted for the offense, Cardinals a run on 6 hits, Seattle a run on just 2 hits. McGreevy giving the Cardinals exactly what they want. So far 4 innings and very efficient. Bullpen is on fumes at the moment. This one skied towards center, and Julio Rodriguez is there, and he's got it for out number 1. Help Cardinals Care raise funds to help further its mission of caring for kids in the St. Louis community. You can bid on autographed items including baseballs, jerseys, photos, and more. Visit cardinals.com/CC auctions to bid. Arias a hit. And he just got hit. He is holding that left arm. Let's see exactly where he got plunked. Adam Olson, the Cardinals athletic trainer, out to check him. Might be the elbow.
Yeah, look, you hope this one isn't serious. You know, sometimes when you get hit on that outside of the elbow too, all those nerves running through that arm just deadens. Sinker runs in from Hancock, catches it right on that back of the elbow tricep.
Yeah, nowhere to go. And this is not the kind of stat you want to lead your league in, but Cardinals do. 23rd man to be hit by a pitched ball this year.
Well, again, it's a way to get on base, which is certainly a good thing, but boy, a painful way to get on base. Going through some tests here, trying to see how that elbow responds.
And now Seattle's talking things over with Emerson Hancock on a warm day. You wonder if he might have a blister issue.
Now they're getting the super glue out to try to stop the bleeding there.
Or maybe just a cut on the thumb.
Yeah, it could be so that ball cradles, you know, right there on the top of your thumb. So you could certainly get one there, get a little cut on that. Last thing you want is blood all over every baseball that gets out there. So he's talking into the fake microphone. I'm sorry, he's blowing on his cut there.
So Emerson Hancock back at work. Victor Scott next. He hit the ball hard, but into a double play that ended the Cardinals' 2nd inning. One ball, no strikes. Now even 1-1. Victor's trying to use the big part of the field. He did hit the ball hard up the middle. Had some success yesterday with a soft line drive between short and third. That's how they play him.
Chip, we asked Ollie about his at-bats yesterday, and he actually was very encouraged with the bat path, the thought process, the ideas behind the plate appearances just look different than we've seen. So the result did get the 1 hit, but could see more coming if he just keeps working on that.
Right? Trust the process.
Yeah.
Have a process first and then trust it. And Then, of course, once the process starts to work, you get more confident, and then the process takes care of itself.
And I know it sounds really simple, right? Hey, trust what you're working on.
Yeah.
But when you get into battle, when you're out there, you're competing, you can fall back into some bad habits. You really have to battle yourself.
And look, Seattle knows what Victor's trying to do. That's why they play him defensively the way they do, and that's how opposing pitchers attack him. They're pitching to his weakness, not his strength. Like that last pitch, that's a tough one to try to hit the other way. So it's the old cat and mouse for Victor Scott II, batting ninth. Urias, sore elbow and all, the man at first with one out in a tie game. On the ground, slowly towards second, and that will advance the runner. Urias in scoring position. Back to the top we go. And J.J. Weatherholt, let's check out the metrics on his 5th home run. Our StatCast powered by Google Cloud.
Well, J.J. got the scoring going for the Cardinals in this one. Jumped the fastball at the top of the zone. 107.4 miles an hour off the bat for J.J. Weatherholt. Another 375-foot shot into the bullpen. Hopefully a sign of more and more great things to come for this young man.
Hot shot toward first, and Connor Joe will take care of that. Weatherholt hit it on the screws, but right to a Seattle defender. The Cardinals 0-4 with Risp today, and we head to the 5th, tied 1 apiece. On Friday, May 1st, the Cardinals welcome the Dodgers to Busch Stadium. That day, fans take home a Cardinals short-sleeved hoodie presented by Busey Bank. Get your details at cardinals.com/promotions. The Dodgers, the first of 2 excellent teams coming to St. Louis. On the next homestand, L.A. and then the Brewers. As Luke Raley rolls out for the first out of the 5th inning, we will finally, Brad, tomorrow play a team from our division.
Let's go. You know, it's worth the wait, I'd say. Be fun to face off against the Buccos, an exciting young team.
It's the latest the Cardinals have played a division opponent in the season since 1993, and it's the first of 4 in Pittsburgh. Here's Canzone. He's 0 for 1 with a rollout. Michaels had all of his pitches at his disposal today. He's throwing a 2-hitter and giving the Cardinals exactly what they want. 1 ball, 1 strike. And on a day when you need length from your starter at this point in the season, I think it's safe to say McGreevy would be your best candidate because he generally doesn't walk people. He doesn't hurt himself and doesn't have a lot of deep counts.
Yeah, that's the last part is one of the biggest keys. He can get outs very early in some of these counts. Although the Mariners have been pesky, fouling off some tough ones.
So the birthday boy looking on as McGreevy, a 2-2 pitch. And strike 3. Canzone's going to challenge. Cardinals will throw the ball around the infield. Let's see who's right.
Batter's challenging, strike 3.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Canzone for the moment out on strikes. And he earns a second life.
Ball's overturned. Seattle has 2 remaining.
It is such a, I was just thinking about this from a pitcher standpoint. It's been your whole life when the umpire says strike 3, it's always been strike 3. There's like a quick celebration, and then it's a, just kidding.
And sure enough, it's base hit the other way. So Canzone has the 3rd Seattle hit. I was going to ask you, the ramp up again emotionally. You think you've got the out, and then you realize, I've got work to do with this guy, and then the next after that.
Yeah, you do have to do so quickly, and obviously you have to do so quickly in a pitch clock era. That is one where just the new name of the game, right? Everything else, all of the changes throughout, we keep talking about how they're so big, but these guys adjust very quickly to be able to figure it out and figure out how to best use the system for them.
Connor Joe's the first baseman. McGreevy punched his ticket in the third inning. Michael with 4 strikeouts in his first 4 1/3 today. Facing Seattle for the second time in his career. Gave up 1 run in 6 innings last September against the mighty Mariners up at T-Mobile Park. And he does what you want your starter to do. He gives you a legitimate shot to win. The Cardinals are 16-8 when Michael starts a game with the Birds on the bat.
I feel like he would be a great guy to play behind as well. Like the pace is always good. He gets the ball, he throws it. He's got a good idea of where he's going to be. He's in the strike zone. Good energy behind him. I enjoy watching Michael McGreevy pitch.
I think that's the key word, right? We're in an era where we have heavers, we have throwers, we have guys that just grip it, rip it, spin it as hard as they can. And most very successfully, because it is the big leagues after all. As Walker glasses gleaming, will handle that one for the second out. But the art of pitching, the art of moving the ball around, in, out, up and down, changing speeds, as you said, the push and pull, that to me is the art of the position, and I think Michael does an excellent job of that.
He does. And look, Michael does not have the skill set where he's going to blow 98, 99 past people. He has to be fine. He has to be able to do the push and pull stuff, but that's what keeps you in the big leagues a long time, being able to do stuff like that. As we've talked about, we've seen a lot recently. You can throw 100. If you miss your spots, you're going to get hit.
I'm not saying Michael McGreevy is Greg Maddux by any stretch, but Greg Maddux was asked what would he rather have, velocity or movement, and he said movement 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Cole Young singled his first time up and tried to advance to second. Victor Scott made a nice pickup, spin and throw to erase him at second base. He popped off the bag, and good work by JJ to hold the tag. McGreevy facing the 8th place hitter for the second time in the game. Redbirds will have their big boys coming up in the 5th with a 1-1 tie at the moment. Didn't get that. There's that movement, a cutter. It's 0-2. Did he go? Yes, he did. Young is down on strikes. A check swing. McGreevy, a strikeout per inning. And Ivan Herrera, Alec Burleson, and Jordan Walker coming up trying to break a 1-1 tie. Yeah, the catcher's having a pretty good series. This is what Ivan Herrera did yesterday.
This was a big last second batter of the game, followed up J.J. Weatherholt's homer with his 4th of the season. And Herrera and the Cardinals offense is starting to heat up a little bit. Big offensive day yesterday.
And a good day for Ivan today. He's our Bet365 betting odds. He's 1 for 2 with a double. Hancock slings that baby up there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals have left 6 on base in the game. They have 6 hits. Their lone run, a Weatherholt homer. That's popped out of play off to the right. Another nice crowd at Busch today on a sunny Sunday. Storms approaching later tonight, and then we're back on Friday for the Dodgers. Weather will be a little cooler for LA than it is today. And you know the park will be jumping, not just to see the Cardinals, but let's face it, the best player in the game, Shohei Ohtani, coming to town.
Yeah, and a star-studded cast around him, right? That is a very, very talented team that the Dodgers have out there. So it'll be fun to see them. Then the Brewers coming to town right after them.
Popped into right. Raley broke back. Now comes galloping in. And there's your first out. One away in the Cardinals' fifth. We wrap up our series against Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. That'll be Sunday, the 3rd of May. And fans will take home a Cardinals blade collar shirt. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. So that's what a blade collared shirt looks like. I've never seen one of those before.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
Do you own any blade collar shirts?
No. Do you?
About to on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll get one. Hopefully after we put ourselves in position to sweep LA in a 3-game series. Burleson, a 1-0 count. He's 0 for 2 and rolls over to first. And 2 outs for the Cardinals. Hancock has set down 4 straight. Jordan Walker has a base on balls and an infield hit today. Walker's last homer April 13th. Let's see if he can change that. Wind looks to be blowing out ever so slightly toward the bleachers in left center. And he almost got hit. Tell you what, the Cardinals are, as we showed you, leading the major leagues in hit batsmen. The Mariners have plunked 5 of our guys in this 3-game set.
Yeah, that is a lot. Some of them have been on breaking balls, but he got hit yesterday bad. 98-mile-an-hour fastball on the hands. And that was Hancock trying to make sure he didn't make that same mistake again. Ends up had one that slipped out early, one he hung on a tad bit too long.
He was trying to hit the ball.
Gets a free steak.
2 balls, no strikes. Ball 3. Brant Brown described what he was trying to do with Jordan in let's compare now to then. And then was when he was roasting hot. Get back into those good habits, those good positions. It all starts with pitch recognition. And how about that? He's walked twice in the game. I'll have to go back and look and see the last time Jordan had 2 bases on balls while getting a start, and he keeps the inning alive. So for Hancock, second walk to go along with a hit batsman. He's passed Jordan twice. Now it's Gorman's turn. Gorman 1 for 2.
Yeah, Gorman went the other way last time. He got a changeup down and away from Hancock that he was able to serve down that left field line.
Smack towards second, but Young is there, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, a man left. Another great game. Cardinals and Mariners tied 1 apiece. Away we go to the Steel City after our game today. That's your Budweiser What's on Tap. Dustin May goes on Monday, Kyle Leahy Tuesday. As we send it down to Jim Hayes as we wrap up our series with Seattle.
Yeah, McGreevy's having a really good early season, and Leahy says Michael has been invaluable in helping him make the transition to starter. Leahy told me we came up together, so he's seen me as a starter and now in the bullpen. Leahy says it's really helpful to be able to talk to a guy about like a certain pitch, he said, when he's seen you throw it at different levels. But Chip, these starters are a really tight group.
They are, and their paths to the big leagues are so similar as has been their transitions, if you will. A lot of these guys started in the bullpen like the old days and now making the switch from a reliever to starter, and that comes with its obvious highs, but also the bumps in the road that you have to deal with.
Yeah, look, the Cardinals pitching staff led by Dusty Blake and his whole crew, they do such a great job, but you can help each other out so much as these guys. That one foul tip catches a piece of Herrera. So I love the fact that they bounce stuff off each other and able to talk to each other about pitches, about sequences, about how they attack individuals, about what is the thought process maybe against a certain hitter or a certain team. End up learning a lot from your teammates. Can be some of your best teachers.
And I would think it helps because their stuff is so similar, right? Palante, McGreevy, and Leahy.
It's a very similar arsenal, right?
Herrera took some punishment. John Bacon makes sure he's all right, as McGreevy chasing down a season high 6th strikeout. He's looked good today. Great to get him through 6 innings. But Leo Rivas not going quietly. He flied out his first trip to the plate. Haven't got to the big story in baseball that occurred yesterday. We will in a moment as McGreevy peers in. Alex Cora and 5 members of his staff were dismissed by the Boston Red Sox after winning a game 17-1. It's a little weird.
Well, I mean, obviously the minds have been made up well ahead of that to be able to do that. It was a very slow start for the Red Sox and a front office that was not going to wait around any longer. Were you shocked by this news?
I think so. I mean, they just gave him a contract extension a year ago or so. But all the heat now is this one whacked toward right. Walker retreats, plays it on a big hop, and Rivas with a leadoff single. Look, there's no denying the fact that the Red Sox have underperformed. They traded Devers, they traded Betts, all that stuff we know in the back of the history books. But it's a veteran team that hasn't hit for power. Their pitching hasn't been as good as they thought, and they're way out of the race in the AL East already with a big payroll. So we'll see how that turns around, if at all, for the Bo Sox. What I've read today, the players aren't real thrilled with the change.
Can see that. Can definitely see that. I mean, it's a wholesale changeover. Like, so everything that you, on a day-to-day, the guys that you lean on for stuff, and I realize it hadn't worked to this point, but there's a trust factor in your coaching staff that is out there. Gonna have to rebuild that. And that's not saying anything against the guys that are filling into these roles. I'm sure highly qualified, just a shakeup for the players nonetheless.
No balls, 1 strike for J.P. Crawford, who's 0 for 2. It's almost like the curse of the Bambino now in Boston is if you're an executive, you might want to rent. They don't last longer than 3 years or so up in the Northeast at Fenway Park. Red Sox begin play today in last place in the AL East, 8 games back, a negative 13 run differential. So let's see if Rivas takes off after 2 throwovers from McGreevy. He doesn't, and a fly ball to right. Walker's got that one measured up. Well, his instincts and his confidence in right field, Brad, it is truly night and day from a year and a half, 2 years ago for the Cardinals right fielder. That's a routine play, but even the routine ones were sometimes hold your breath. And that guy's work is a big reason why.
No doubt about it, right? John Jay has really poured into this outfield group. Jordan Walker has poured into the work, and I think that you hit the perfect note right there. It's the instincts. It's the first step. It's believing that as Jordan has said, believing that the ball is going to be where you think it's going to be. And that is reps in the outfield. That's reps off the bat of John Jay. That's reps during BP, and it's certainly reps during big league baseball games where you have an opportunity to learn not only every ball that is at you, but you have a chance to learn every ball that's in play. That's something that I know we've talked about a little bit in the past, but John Jay, he goes back and he looks at the first step, not the first step of every ball that's hit to you, the first step of every ball that's hit. Like, where are you going? Are your instincts taking you the right way? I mean, these guys spend so much time digging into every little thing to make these guys great.
Heck of a pitch, and it's popped up to the left side. Arias has that. Look at what McGreevy did. Went to cover third just in case disaster happened. And think of a play earlier this season when you had Nathan Church backing up a ball on a throw to third base. Everybody has a role to play, and there's constant movement even on the most routine of plays.
Look, this team, we know they're young. We know they're a team that is still trying to build, still trying to learn at this level, but they are fundamentally sound, and they work hard at all of the little things. You're not going to see them shoot themselves in the foot very often.
And let's be honest, they have to be. If they want to be competitive, they can't afford to hurt themselves with lots of walks. or lots of errors, especially with a staff that's going to have the ball in play a lot. But a nice adjustment by McGreevy to get Raleigh, who hit the homer against him in the 4th inning. After the single, soft fly out and a pop out. And now Julio Rodriguez stands in the way. Next stop for Seattle is Minneapolis. They'll play the Twins in a 3-game series. That's popped out of play. Minnesota having tough times under Derek Shelton, their new skipper. They've lost 8 of their last 10 and are 12-15 on the year. The Guardians, the only team over 500 in the AL Central. Every team in our division at 500 or better. So a ball and 2 strikes.
We've seen Rodriguez swing at a couple of those. That was a good sweeper off the plate away.
Pitch 93 is a touch high. All right, so let's manage along with Ollie. You've got 93 pitches for McGreevy, assuming he gets out Rodriguez for the next 2 or 3 pitches. Does he have another inning in him?
I don't think he does.
No.
I don't think that they'd bring him over the century mark, even though that there's a need in this ball game. I'd be surprised.
In the air, softly hit. It's going to drop in front of Church. So Rodriguez with a 2-out knock, 2 aboard, 2 away. And Arozarena's next. He hasn't seen McGreevy well yet. Michael has struck him out twice.
Yeah, sometimes you got to tip your cap to the opposition. Chevy pitch track here. Good pitch, a better swing right here, or at least a better result there for Rodriguez. Able to cover that sweeper that's down and away off the plate. Serve it into left field.
Yeah, Ollie and Dusty Blake have said very consistently about how conservatively they want to handle their pitching staff, especially in April. And that's one reason why you went the whole season last year with only 1 guy going on the injured list, and that was the final week.
Yeah, it was late. John King.
And so this is the time of season for managers, pitching coaches, and pitchers alike, where if you push the throttle too hard, you might have problems later on in the summer. So Matt Swanson starts to play catch. Big spot in the game. We're tied. Arozarena, 2 on. And 2 out. This is the Mariners' first at bat of the day with a runner in scoring position. No balls and a strike. Big lead, Rivas at second, and Arozarena way late. It's 0-2. This guy's gotten hot. So has Raleigh. So has Josh Naylor. So has Julio Rodriguez. McGreevy's cooled him with a run on 5 hits. Foul past third. That was close.
Well, you've seen McGreevy in this ball game get Arozarena twice with elevated sinkers.
Swing and a miss. Look at McGreevy. Big fist pump. Man, oh man, tip your cap to Michael McGreevy on a day when the Redbirds needed a solid start from their starter. They got that and a whole lot more. 1-1 your score, home sixth.
Chevy dealers.
Well, we were hoping to see all smiles from Michael McGreevy today, and the Cardinals' young right-hander provided plenty of those.
Yeah, 6 strikeouts. You see that note? Cardinals 6-0 when their starter pitched at least 6 innings this season. Michael McGreevy does just that. All smiles. It had a very good approach, very good game plan, and able to execute it. He's sitting there with Kyle Driscoll. That's the assistant pitching coach for the Cardinals. Going to break some stuff down. But I like that. I just really enjoy the way McGreevy goes about it. He's not your traditional starter, too. On start days, you can actually talk to him.
Yeah.
He'll carry a conversation. He's the same guy, very consistent. You see that consistency out on the mound.
Mason Wynn leads off the St. Louis sixth. Wynn, Church, and Arias coming up. Seattle's bullpen is stirring out in the left field bleacher area. Got to wonder about the state of their pen. They had to use a lot of relievers in the first 2 games of this set. I would guess that their closer Munoz would be unavailable after going back-to-back games.
Same with Brash, probably. Their setup man from the right side. Do have another setup man from the left side, Spire. You'd think that he'd be available.
2 strikeouts for Mason Wynn, whose hit streak is in jeopardy today. 1 out. Nathan Church 1 for 2. Arias 1 for 1, I should say, the next 2 batters. Would you have liked to have had the iPad when you played?
Dude, I love playing Angry Birds. Yes,
oh, okay,
I would.
perfect.
I think that'd be a great distraction at times. Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want feedback, right? You get a chance to kind of see what you've done leading into it, what the opposition does, what they. I mean, it's a very, very big tool. That, and if you're not using it, the other team is. You know, that's the thing.
Swing and a drive. Church has done it again. Speaking of big implements, Church hits a home run, and the Cardinals are back in front.
Just listen to this crowd here at Busch Stadium. Rain the cheers upon Church. Home run number 5 on the season. He is feeling it right now.
So 2 solo homers for the Cardinals. That's enough to lead game 3 2-1. 4 homers in the last 5 games for Nathan Church. Amen, brother. Bottle that up and carry it to Pittsburgh. Arias. We'll see how that elbow feels after he got plunked in his last trip to the plate. He's also recorded a 2nd inning single. This offense has been fun. I'm really pleasantly surprised by the power up and down the lineup that we've seen. That was supposed to be one of the big question marks. Will the Cardinals be able to go toe-to-toe with some of the slugging clubs? I think by and large, Brad, they've done a great job of doing that.
Oh, they have. I mean, when you're looking at it, yes, Walker had the torrid pace at the beginning when it came to home runs. But right now, coming into action today, and the Cardinals have, obviously that home run and JJ's earlier. Now they have 34. Coming into action, they had the 6th most home runs in the National League, tied for 10th in all of baseball. Nobody expected them to be there. But the great thing to me about this offense is they can beat you in a lot of different ways. Might be the long ball. We've seen them being able to manufacture, get guys in, get them over. That's a complete offense is going to be very important for this club.
The Cardinals have hit 7 homers in the last 2 games against one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. And they've out-homered their opponents, including today's play, 34-31. So they've given McGreevy a lead. We'll see if the shorthanded Cardinals bullpen can make that stand up in the series and homestand wrap-up. A full count for Arias. And he hits one high in the air to left, but playable for Arozarena. And Randy battles the sun, makes the play. And there is your second out. Time for our BJC Healthcare difference maker.
That is a bad man right there. Church got a change up. Hancock wanted it down and away, ended up down and in and right into the sweet swing of Nathan Church.
That's a fiery red-headed young man. He is not afraid to let his emotions show when he makes a big play in the outfield or when he swings the bat like he just did.
That's how you should be, man. Enjoy this stuff.
Victor's your batter. He's hit the ball on the ground twice, once into a double play. We get to the seventh. It'll be Rayleigh, Canzone, and Connor Joe coming up. Looks like Matt Svanson's going to be the Cardinals reliever. After McGreevy, 6 innings, 1 run, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks, and the Cal Raleigh homer that tied the game. Another ground ball to second, and Victor is retired, and so are the Cardinals. Nathan Church is on a heater. 2 more hits today, another home run that gives St. Louis a 1-run lead.
So I hammer the.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Ballpark Village is buzzing on this beautiful Sunday. The Cardinals have the lead. Luke Rayleigh's your batter. Matt Svanson answers the Chevy call to the bullpen. 2 solid outings out of the bullpen back-to-back for Matt, if memory serves. Had some base runners yesterday, but he could use a quick and easy 7th to set things up for the Cardinals. And that's a good way to start. Fly ball to left, softly hit. Church gathers that in. And 1 man down. On Friday, May 1st, it's Diet Coke night. Fans with a theme ticket take home a Diet Coke Cardinals t-shirt. Upgrade to a VIP ticket to design your own trucker hat. Tickets at cardinals.com/theme. How apropos is that, Brad? I'm going to enjoy one right now.
Look at you. Right on time. It was delicious.
As Harry used to say, how do they make them so cheap but taste so good?
Got to get you one of those shirts.
Extra medium.
Oh, you do. You are looking svelte lately.
Canzone is next. He's 1 for 2. This one on the ground. Arias backhand. Good play. Long throw and on the money. Swanson likes that. That's Gold Glover over there, you know, and he took away a potential infield hit.
Chip, you knew that Urias had a good arm, but you don't realize it until you see a play like this. Ranging towards third base across his body on the run and guns it on the money to Burleson to get him by a couple of steps.
Connor Joe. That rockets off the mask of Herrera, who's done a nice job behind the plate. No balls and a strike.
Home plate umpire John Bacon just making sure he's okay. If he needed an extra second, he said he was good to go.
One ball, 1 strike. Just a touch low. I'm really rooting for this kid on the mound. Svanson, he's a terrific young man. He's got great stuff, but he's going through what a lot of young pitchers and players have to deal with, and that's figuring out what they've figured out about you.
Yeah, kind of that sophomore season adjustment, right?
That one is popped over third, and that's going to get down for a hit. And Joe's going to streak around first. Here's Church's throw. It's a touch off target, but close. And Joe with a 2-out double stands in scoring position.
Connor Joe really got his hands inside this ball. This is a sinker here from Swanson. That's well in off the plate. Just able to muscle it.
So Cole Young, he's been a pest this entire series. Another hit today. And taken low, 1 ball, no strikes.
Catcher challenging ball.
This will be challenged by Ivan Herrera. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Calls overturned. St. Louis at 2 remaining.
So that flips the count to Matt's favor. No balls and a strike. There's some depth. That sweeper, that was nasty. 0-2.
That's what it looked like last year.
Yeah.
Was able to dot at the bottom with the sinker and then follow it off with that sweeper.
Broken bat, little pop is gonna drop. Unreal. Cole Young breaks his bat and breaks our hearts. It's a 2-2 game.
So both the hits in this inning, it was the Connor Joe 96-mile-an-hour sinker in off the plate that somehow he muscled into left field. This one is a good cutter, broken bat on the inner half that is able to tie this game up.
Leo Rivas is the 9th place hitter. Again, it's the bottom of the Mariners order that's given the Cardinals fits in this series. Canzone a single, Joe a double, Young 2 hits, Rivas a single. And the hits and runs even here in game 3. 2 runs, 7 hits apiece. Cardinals have left 7 on base. Seattle has stranded 3. Cardinals will have the top of their order coming up in a tie game. Stretch and 2-0 pitch. If you're a veteran player with the back of a bubblegum card, I'm sure it's easier to trust the process and not necessarily live and die with the outcome. But for Swanson, it's really been a rough go here in April. And so the 2 hits, as you said, that he allowed, one the soft double and then a broken bat. I mean, that's exactly what you want when things are going your way. Those are outs.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know what you were trying to do on one. So we could go back and look and say, all right, the sinker that missed in, the double, I was actually trying to do something else, or that cutter in, I wanted it in off the plate further. That could be very well the case. But I totally agree with you with the idea of just rattle off a couple. And he's had 3 good ones in a row. Just rattle off a few, build that confidence. You know, Dusty totally believes in the stuff that Swanson had. We saw it last year. Again, one of the better relievers in the game of baseball, but every single year there's volatility in the bullpens and there are some waves. You got to be able to ride them, but they need him.
And that's a good way to finish the 7th inning. His first strikeout. The Mariners with a 2-out rally tie the game. Cole Young with a broken bat hit sends us to the stretch.
Good things.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball is presented by Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. And by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Well, we told you this has been a fun series. It's another tight game. 2-2. It's as even as can be. And the Cardinals go to work in their half of the 7th with the top of the order coming up.
And Chevy called to the bullpen time. This time up, Spire is in. The lefty setup man. Take a look at the numbers so far on the season for Gabe. I think it is 14th appearance.
Spire broke in 7 years ago with Kansas City. Swing and a high fly ball right center. Got under it. And at the wall, Julio Rodriguez, just enough room. Weatherholt just missed. Church thought he got enough, but the old proverbial one more biscuit for breakfast and we'd have the lead again.
Yeah, I mean, really did just miss it. He caught the barrel, hit it very hard. Just the wrong part of the ballpark right there.
Here's Herrera, Ivan a double in his 3 trips to the plate. And this is the Honda home run inning. If one of the Cardinals can go deep again, your Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's always fun to go back and look at a player's transaction list. Spire's been traded for some pretty good players. Was dealt for Rick Porcello. Was traded for Cameron Maybin. Was traded to Kansas City for John Jay.
Really?
Yep, that was in 2018. And then the Mariners got him on a waiver claim at the end of the 2022 season. And if the Spire last name sounds familiar, it should. He's the nephew of Chris Spire, who is a terrific big league infielder and a cousin of former pitcher Justin Spire. 3 balls and a strike. Smashed foul past third. Full count. Out quiet. The pitch is in the dirt, and Herrera will take a walk. He's done that a lot. Impressive start for Herrera in the patience department. That base on balls gives him 19 of them. That far and away leads the Cardinals attack. So Burleson bats. Burley an 0 for 3. Maybe a left-hander will get him on the beam. He's 0 for 11 in the series. Swing and a drive. Got the barrel out on that one, but just a bit early. And that guy had a great chance, but that was a hot shot.
Yeah, I'm not sure no glove on wanting a piece of that. 104.5 off the bat. Manned up to it. Way to knock it down. That a baby.
No balls, 2 strikes. With 1 strike, Burleson took a peek at Rivas at third base. Now he's way off the line with 2 strikes. Point being, if Burley thought about a bunt, won't be bunting here. And the point of a bunt, just get a hit, get something going for you offensively. This is a rough spell for him. He's 2 for his last 24 with 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, this is a guy too you know can bust out of it very quickly. Yep. And when he does, I mean, they're going to come in bunches for Burleson.
Spire tried to expand the strike zone. Burleson said not this time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Double down the left field line would be just fine. They're pitching him that way, but that one not close enough to take a hack at. Pitch number 6 coming up.
You know, the damage that Birdley's going to do is going to be pull side. That's the way they play him, certainly on the infield. Outfield playing deep, no doubles.
On the ground to the right side. They're going to go to second, and that's all they'll get. Good hard slide by Herrera. Nice play by Young to feed Crawford. 2 outs. And Jordan Walker is next. Very productive day for Walker. He's reached base 3 times, 2 walks in the game. First time that's happened since the first series against the Tampa Bay Rays. And Walker is not going to see the left-hander's spire. Bizzardo's going to come in and pitch to the Cardinals cleanup man in a 2-2 game. Redbirds have the go-ahead run aboard. We'll see what happens when we come back. May 3rd is Sunday. The Dodgers are in town, and it's Asian American Pacific Islander Day. Fans with a theme ticket take home an AAPI-inspired Cardinals jersey. Get your details at cardinals.com/theme. Edward Bizzardo answers the Chevy call to the bullpen. Runner at first for Jordan Walker in a tie game. And first pitch on the ground right off the end of the bat. And the flip to second is in time to retire the side. So our duel moves to the 8th inning. Top of the Seattle order is calling. We're tied 2 apiece. Cardinals bringing the heat for the top of the 8th inning. Ryan Stanek, the second Redbird to answer a Chevy call to the bullpen. This is Ryan's second appearance in the series. Crawford, Raleigh, Rodriguez for the Mariners in the 8th. Remember, they have Josh Naylor lurking on the bench if needed here in Game 3. Stanek could use a clean outing. Last 5 games, 4 innings, 6 runs, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. Crawford is 0 for 3, and JP takes what's called a strike, and he's going to challenge.
Batter's challenging the strike.
And he's right.
Call's overturned. Seattle has 2 remaining.
Two balls, 1 strike.
Good slider there in the strike zone. That's going to be one of the bigger keys, I think, moving forward here for the veteran Stanek, is being able to land the slider and being able to land the split finger of his in the zone. That one could have been under the zone as well. Didn't challenge it again. Didn't want to go back-to-back pitches. But I feel like we've seen this a lot. Stanek has ran into some deep counts because anything that's spinning, the opposition's just leaving there, and it's generally under the zone.
And that's been the problem by and large for the Cardinals bridge relievers, even the late inning ones too. A lot of base runners, a lot of ball 4. Can't afford that in a tight game with this part of the order up for Dan Wilson's Mariners. So another full count pitch coming for JP Crawford. And lifted softly to the left side. That's going to curl into the stands. Fan for life right there. Got a souvenir. And Stanek ready to go with his 8th pitch. And it missed. Now Herrera is going to challenge. Crawford drops the bat. This is a big call. Did Herrera get it right? Yep, he did. Strike 3, not ball 4.
That is a huge momentum shifting call right there. Great review. Let's see, Ryan Stanek. Yeah, he liked that. Leadoff strikeout instead of a leadoff walk.
Tell you what, Herrera does a good job on those ball strike challenges. Now you got Cal Raleigh, who's homered in one of his 3 trips. '99 inside corner. Way outside to the always dangerous big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Do you have a place in your scorebook to keep track of the ABS challenges?
No,
I don't
know.
either.
And I probably should.
Yeah.
I don't know what color ink I'd use for that, but got plenty of options.
Maybe that's what you could use pencil for. Or would that mess up the scorebook?
No, it wouldn't mess it up. It just looked like amateur hour, but sure it'll be fine.
Well, Herrera behind the plate has changed 4 pitches in the game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Base is empty. And strike 3. Raleigh's not going to argue. Stanek, Powder River, has back-to-back punch-outs looking.
$100 miles an hour, pounded at the bottom of the zone. I could be able to touch that.
Rodriguez 1 for 3. Higher math is not my strong suit. Heck, lower math isn't either. But I can't wait to talk with Chaim Bloom, Rob Cerfolio, and others in the Cardinals front office and pitching development group. How many pitches changed makes a big difference in the game? What run factor would that be? And how do you calculate
with the overturn calls?
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure that it always is going to depend on the timing of the game, the leverage of the game, but certainly a way to quantify that you and I are not going to be able to count on our fingers and or toes.
Yeah, not even combined. But look, the goal is to get it right, and today Herrera's done an excellent job of doing just that. There's Chaim and Rob. They're doing great work.
Well, the brain trust up there. That was Michael Gersh next to them.
One ball, 2 strikes. They're probably crunching those numbers right now.
Yeah, probably heard that we wanted them. Really good.
We're in the 8th inning, guys. Hurry up. Audience wants to know the 1-2. Foul back. This is something else that cost the Cardinals yesterday. A lot of foul balls. Mariners don't go quietly.
Yeah, they did so to Riley O'Brien for sure. They made him work a lot, but I'm digging the work we've seen to this point here for Stanek.
Stanek's 21st pitch is coming. This one needs to be a little closer. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he got him. Stanek strikes out the side. That one 101 and located beautifully. So we head to the home 8th. Gorman, Wynn, and Church are coming up. Quite a series between the Cardinals and Mariners. Game 3 on the line. The Cardinals' designated hitter today is Nolan Gorman. He leads off the 8th inning. He's got a 1-for-3 day today. And takes a strike. Let's update our Bet365 betting odds. Can Gorman pick up a second hit today? Two good pitches. And 0-2. Pizzardo's second outing in the series, only 2/3 of an inning work. And strike 3. That backed up a sinker. And Gorman couldn't pull the trigger. He's retired on 3 pitches for out number 1.
Take a look at it again. This sinker runs back, just touches the top of the zone to get him.
Mason Wynn 0-for-3, a couple of strikeouts for the Cardinals shortstop. And takes a strike. You had an amazing note on Pizzardo and the incredible start to his career.
Yeah, he went 151 innings without a loss. That is a major league record for the most innings pitched without recording a loss in a career. That loss happened on the 22nd just recently against the A's. So now that is broken, you might as well give him a second one. Like, what's number 2? You're used to it now.
Yeah. Just so you know what it really feels like.
Yeah,
First wear it. Been a fluke.
God, needs a friend, doesn't it?
0-2. Chopped off the plate. And Mason is still alive. We head to Pittsburgh hoping for a happy flight today. 4 coming up with the Pirates. Our first games against Central Division opponents at PNC Park. And more good pitching lying in wait. The 0-2. Dustin May will kick things off tomorrow night. 5:40 first pitch. May's put together, Brad, 3 excellent starts in a row. There he is on a sunny St. Louis day. The pitch back up the middle, deflected. Young, a nice play at second and a pretty throw. Nicely done by Young, as you said. Leads second baseman in defensive runs saved. He saves an infield hit ahead of Nathan Church, who earns our Budweiser play of the game.
Well, this is a big blast here, Chip, by Church in the 6th inning. Got a change up, his 5th home run of the season. Had the monster day yesterday with a pair of homers and adds another one in this game. 2 for 3 coming into this one, and wouldn't mind playing the hero again.
I would imagine they'll keep the ball away from Church in a tie game. We'll see. Infield hit in the 2nd, a 6th inning homer. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lifted high in the air, left center. It's going to carry to the edge of the track. And Arozarena is there to make the play. And he flips it into the stands for a Cardinal fan souvenir. To the 9th we go. What a game. Scott Warm and Al Roboski are standing by with the Cardinals postgame. That's presented by Car Shield. They'll join you from their perch out by Big Mac Land, hopefully after a Cardinals win. We are in the 9th inning of a tie game. Jojo Romero will enter the fray. He's the next to answer a Chevy call to the bullpen after Ryan Stanek struck out the side in the Seattle 8th.
You know, Jojo's ready to be back in here yesterday. That game didn't go the way he planned. 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 earned runs for Jojo. This guy's been locked down the last year plus.
Hat trick for Arozarena, 3 strikeouts today. In the air to right. Walker adjusts. 1 out. Luke Raley is scheduled next. Let's enjoy first, though, a word from BJC Healthcare. won't be Luke Raley. It will be left-hand pitching killer Rob Refsnyder. They've got a nice balanced ball club, man. They have options late in the game if the opposing manager wants to play matchup with the pitching staff. Dan Wilson has plenty of counter moves to address that. Refsnyder's one of them. Of course, the big ace in the hole is Josh Naylor. We don't know if Wilson said we're going to give you a full day off. Naylor's been roasting hot. He was not in the lineup today, and we've not seen him in the game yet.
I would say give him a full day off.
I would too.
Safety first.
Foul back, and Romero ahead. No balls, 2 strikes.
There he is, hopefully with tennis shoes on.
Yeah, we can tilt down and maybe see.
And flip-flops, slides,
shorts.
They got a Slurpee.
And strike 3. Refsnyder's going to challenge. Herrera, nice job of massaging the outer corner. Let's see if this one stands up. Refsnyder's going to challenge. And yeah, this one's coming back.
Ball's overturned. Seattle has 2.
It's probably one of those ones. Umpire John Bacon again. Those guys have a tough job, but probably walks back because my bad, dude. Missed that one.
That one knocked Pitchcom off Herrera's mask. Ooh. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No walks, please. High fly ball left. Church has gone as far as he can go. It's a pinch hit home run.
A chip, you mentioned it. Dan Wilson, the skipper of the Mariners, pressing all the right buttons. He gets Refsnyder in there. He gets a sweeper down and in, puts it into the bullpen. The last 3 pinch hitters, 3 for 3, driven in 5 for the Mariners.
That's not ideal. So now we've got a comeback in the 9th inning. Mitch Garver will come on and hit for Canzone. What a shame. As we said, it's been an entertaining series. Cardinals have gone toe-to-toe with the Mariners, but haven't been able to win yet. Rolled foul by Garver, still alive as he. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In the 9th inning, Arias, Scott, and Weatherholtz are your Cardinals batters. If St. Louis thinks about pinch hitting, you've got Fermin, Sajaci, Pajes, and Pozo available. No swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cardinals offense, 2 solo homers. The Mariners have hit 2 solo homers. Garver is out number 2, swung through that. So what a wild game in this regard. The Cardinals staff know about their propensity to walk people. With 2 outs in the 9th inning, they have not issued a single walk.
And have struck out 11.
And trail 3-2. Connor Joe started a 2-out rally with a soft double to left. Then Cole Young broke his bat in the 7th, floated a ball over second that JJ couldn't catch. That tied the game at 2. So Seattle inching back toward 500. And
you know what that is.
3 Joes.
That's the JoJo Joe.
1 ball, 2 strikes. That's outside. It's a full count. Romero got to a full count on Refsnyder and had to come to the right-hand hitter, and he blasted a home run. 3-2 game. And did he go? Oh, yeah, Hunter Wendelstedt's going to ring him up, and that will retire the side. So last call for the Cardinals. 8-9-1 on the lineup card. Can St. Louis steal away Game 3? We're about to find out. Cardinals trying to avoid being swept at home by the Mariners, who got a pinch hit homer from Rob Refsnyder in the top of the 9th inning. And now Jose Ferrer answers the Chevy call to the bullpen.
We saw Ferrer in the ball game yesterday. Ended up going 2 scoreless. Worked around 2 hits and a walk for Ferrer. Good fastball. Is going to run it up there about 97. Has a changeup and a slider that plays off of it.
Arias is 1 for 2. And he takes the strike. This guy throws hard. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Change-up slider. When he's right, he's a ground ball machine. In case there's any trouble, Cole Wilcox, a right-hander, is up and throwing in the pen.
Well, hopefully trouble happens quickly here for the Cardinals offense against Ferrer. You saw the overall numbers on the season for Arias, but hitting .333, 4 for 12 against lefties.
That one hooked toward left, and Arozarena is going to catch that. Cardinals have 2 outs left in the 9th inning. Victor Scott will be called back. Joel Pozo grabs a bat. He'll come on and pinch hit. Pozo last year had a flair for the dramatic in a pinch. Let's see if he can reach. It's been a while since Pozo's had any game action. He had 1 at bat on the last road trip. He has not swung the bat at all in this series.
Yeah, not the easiest role to stay ready in, but he does a good job. He prepares himself as if he's playing. He's working down in the cage throughout the game, trying to envision when this spot might come up. So he's going to be ready for Ferrer here.
And he turned it loose, had a good cut at 98. You like to see your pinch hitter do that. First one might be the best one. That was a pitch up in the zone, and Pozo just a touch late. No balls and a strike.
You don't see Joel Pozo get cheated on a swing very often, do you? And even he does have a uncanny ability, even when he does get fooled on a pitch, to be able to keep his hands back enough to be able to put the ball in play with authority still.
Broken bat on a line, bobbled, and the throw to first in time, and 2 outs. So can the kid rescue us once again? J.J. Weatherholt hit a home run in the 3rd inning that gave the Cardinals a 1-run lead.
Well, he was able to hunt a fastball. We were just talking about how Ferrer throws hard. Well, that was 97 up at the top that he was able to get to. See what he's able to do here, left on left against Ferrer.
JJ's tried to hit the ball to the left side a couple of times in this series.
JJ does have 2 of his 5 home runs are against left-handed pitching.
Now he and the Cardinals down to their final strike. Weatherholt's going to challenge this one, though.
Batters challenge, strike.
Big swing pitch. Will it be 1-1 or 0-2? No balls, 2 strikes. And he fought that off. No, JJ's excited to get to Pittsburgh and face the Pirates. He and the Cardinals not done yet at home against Seattle. They're going away with the 0-2 count. Popped up left side. Rivas and Raleigh. Rivas is there, and this series, Brad, swept by Seattle. 3 games decided by 4 total runs.
Good, a wildly entertaining series, one that the Cardinals could have taken any of the 3. Unfortunately, fall in all 3 of them. Some great personal moments, unfortunately, for the Cardinals, not able to nail this one down. But you get your sights set, Chip, towards Pittsburgh.
At long last, the Cardinals face a Central Division opponent. 4 with the Pittsburgh Pirates starting tomorrow night. First pitch at 5:40. Seattle, a 3-game sweep. They beat the Cardinals 3-2. Stick around. Al Roboski and Scott Warman have the Cardinals postgame. Brad and I join you from PNC Park with Danny Wexman with our coverage beginning at 5:15 Central. 3-2 your final for Brad and Jim. Chip Carey will see you from Pittsburgh tomorrow night.